So the DJI Mini 3 Pro has been released for 1 year now, and you're probably wondering if it's still the ultimate drone. Well, look no further, the answer is a big yes. The DJI Mini 3 Pro is the ultimate drone for beginners and professionals, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why. So if you're wondering why you should listen to me, my name is Dane Visuals, and I'm a content creator from Jamaica. I've been flying drones for over 6 years, and I've owned a bunch of different DJI drones. I've owned from the DJI Phantom 3, I've had the Mavic Pro, I've had the Mavic Pro 2, the DJI Air 2, the DJI Mini 2. So yeah, I've had quite a bit of experience when it comes to DJI drones, and I must say, right now, the DJI Mini 3 Pro is my absolute fave. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about on this drone right here is the build quality. So if you look here, it is a really small and nimble drone. When I just got this, I was actually pretty shocked at how small it was. Like, I was questioning if it was going to be able to give me, high quality footage because, yeah, I'm not used to drones being this flimsy. It honestly feels like plastic, but guys, do not be fooled by appearances. This is a very powerful drone. A big factor that is very useful in it being so small is that it is sub 250 grams. So because of that, you don't have to register it when you're flying it in certain places. This is going to come very much in handy for those travel creators. For me that is traveling all the time, it's really convenient that I don't have to necessarily be registered in that particular country, or that I won't get certain restrictions, because trust me, drone laws are getting more strict. So having something that is small and sleek is going to be a big plus. Also, if you're traveling light, like this thing can actually just hold in your pocket. Like I can just show you guys right now. Let me just show you how tiny it is. It's literally tiny enough to fold up and fit in a pocket. Not that I'm going to keep it in my pocket anyway, but just the fact that that is even an option is absolutely crazy. So yeah, it's really lightweight for persons that are on the go all the time, and persons that don't want to have like huge equipment that's bothering them. As someone that owns the Mavic Pro 2 and other bigger, heavier drones, they can be annoying at times to set up and pull out. And if you want to get a quick shot, they're not going to be the first thing you go for. So that's why, even though I have all those other drones, I always use this guy because it's just as simple as taking it out of a small case. You can even put it in your camera backpack because it doesn't need a case for itself. I mean, I have a case for it, but it's usually in my camera backpack because, yeah, it's so small and tiny, it's not really a big inconvenience. So yeah, it's just good to go as soon as you need that shot. It's not going to be an inconvenience. So I really think that is going to be a major sell for this. One thing to note though is that it is only less than 250 grams if you're using the smaller, lighter batteries. It does have bigger batteries that are going to allow you to basically fly for longer, but that will push it over the 250 gram mark. So be mindful of that. If you're using the bigger batteries, it is more than 250 grams, and you have to check the drone laws in your area to see if you're allowed to fly without. But I mean, look at this, guys. Super small. It's actually crazy how technology has come such a far way that a drone as small as this can get like such amazing quality. All right, so the next thing I want to touch upon is flight performance. So this drone right here is going to give you around 30 minutes of flight time with the regular batteries and 47 minutes of flight time with the bigger batteries. Now, personally, I own both, and honestly, they both give you amazing flight time. I have no complaints when it comes to flight time on this drone. The batteries do die a bit quicker when you're in strong winds, but honestly, that's the same with any drone. And it's going to give me longer flight time than most of my other drones. Like, this is going to be up there for quite some time. I've left it in the air and I've gone and walked around and did shots. I've left it in the air and I've done, pool shots, jumping, walking out of a house. I've done all kinds of stuff and I don't have to worry. Like, the batteries on this really last very long. I'm absolutely impressed by that. Some people say that it's not the best in wind, but I don't know. Like, I've not had much trouble with it in the wind. Like, it holds up very well. I'm assuming that, the bigger drones are gonna, well, not assuming. The bigger drones are probably gonna hold up better. But if I'm being fair, guys, like, it's not a drastic difference. The footage is still extremely stable, even in the windiest of conditions. I've flown this drone in Iceland, which Iceland is so windy that like literally the camera itself was like, I put my camera down and it was blowing away. So trust me, I've flown this in like heavy, super windy places. I mean, I'm from Jamaica, so most times I'm flying in Jamaica and I have no problems with wind. If you're an on-the-go content creator, you're going to want a drone that is going to last a good amount of time because you probably won't be able to be charging batteries consistently. So yeah, This right here was working, or is still working, absolutely perfect for me. I own the Fly More kit, so I have 2 extra batteries, the 47-minute power one, and trust me, I use this for the entire day and I get my shots. I might get 2 more because I'm thinking of just like having this as my, you know, full to go thing for like even my professional shoots, because honestly, if you're shooting for social media or YouTube, you probably don't need more than this. Like, I know a lot of persons are going to be complaining and saying no, the Mavic Pro 3, but honestly, if you're just going to social media, this is perfectly fine. I should also mention the obstacle avoidance sensors on this drone. I mean, to be fair, I don't really use those much, but they are present. Now, the drone has obstacle avoidance sensors to the front, which honestly, you should be able to see things in front of you. It also has obstacle avoidance sensors on the bottom, and lastly, for the back. Now, obstacle avoidance sensors come in handy when you're doing, you know, automatic shots, or if maybe you're a beginner, you just need that extra level of comfort. But for me, I'm not really using it much. I like to have my line of sight within my vision, or I have a spotter who's able to see what's going on for me. But for beginners, that's going to be an extra safety feature to help you out. All right, so the DJI Mini 3 Pro is jam-packed with features. First of all, it shoots 4K up to 60 frames per second. Now, let me just go ahead and say, guys, I'm not a huge advocate of slowing down drone footage. I think drone footage should be played at normal speed. I don't ever shoot at 4K 60 unless I'm flying FPV. So for the most part, I'm always shooting 4K 24 frames per second. I think that's more cinematic. But for those persons who may want to slow down stuff, maybe you're shooting moving objects, maybe like a bike or a jet ski, stuff like that. You're doing more action stuff. I think 4K 60 is going to be really handy. I think it also does 1080 up to 120 frames. So all those different frame rates and resolutions are going to give you a wide range of you know, options when you're editing in post. Also, let me just go ahead and add that the Mini 3 Pro has 10-bit footage. That's going to give you a lot of room to color grade when you're shooting in D-Cine Light. Now, I love using D-Cine Light because I personally like to grade my images. To be fair, the images in normal mode are actually very good and can go straight to social media, but you do get a bit more of dynamic range when you shoot D-Cine Light. So for instance, if you have maybe like a blown out sky, if you shoot D-Cine Light, there's a higher chance that you'll retain more information in your sky in the event that you want to, you know, show the sky in its entirety. It's not that hard to grade D-Cine Light. So if you're, you know, new to color grading, all it takes is just watching a few tutorials. I'll probably do a video on that later for you guys. But yeah, it's pretty easy to grade. It's not that hard, and it's not a completely flat profile. It's just a little bit more flat than, you know, regular normal. So yeah, D-Cine Light is gonna come in handy. Also, guys, let's talk about the intelligent flight modes on this drone. Now, the drone has a bunch of intelligent flight modes. One of them that I love the most is the active track. Now, with active track, all you have to do is go ahead and take your controller and highlight a subject, and the camera has the ability to tell what kind of subject it is that you're shooting. So that is going to be very handy for those solo creators who wants to do maybe tracking shots of themselves, or maybe wants to do tracking shots of objects or vehicles and you're not that good at it yet. You can use the active track function to just go ahead and track yourself. Also, in the recent updates on the Mini 3 Pro, you can now use active track on your vertical mode. So that's going to be great for those persons who want to shoot for social media as well. It also has other intelligent flight modes where you can pretty much do automatic shots. It has, to be fair guys, I don't use them very often. I pre-plan most of my shots, but it has drone, rocket, asteroid, quite a different range of auto shots pretty much, where you just basically select the subject and it does it for you. So for those beginners, it's going to give you some easy shots that you can just basically use right off the bat without having to do, you know, much on your own. So for beginners, again, that's going to be really handy. I don't use it much, but it's something that I can see other persons that probably are new to drones using a lot. And it also has a master shot function where it basically select a subject on your drone and the drone will do a series of predetermined shots. They're already pre-programmed into the master shot feature. So it does a bunch of predetermined shots and just already has it ready for you. So that can be posted straight to social media. So this drone is basically built for those content creators, those persons that want to hurry up and get that content out. And one of my favorite, and I say absolute favorite, one of the main reasons why I love this drone is the vertical. Guys, the drone has built-in vertical mode. Now this is one of the most amazing things ever because again, I shoot a lot for social media. I shoot for Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and the fact that you can basically get vertical video directly from the drone without doing any post-production is absolutely amazing. You're not getting a vertical crop, you're getting true vertical video because the camera basically orients itself in the vertical mode. So that is a lifesaver. Like basically, you can just press one button, go into vertical mode, get those shots, press another button, go back into horizontal, and you pretty much have your shots covered. That was one of the main reasons why I got this drone in the first place. And trust me, I haven't been disappointed. It's one of the best investments I've ever made. And if you're shooting for social media, if you're a content creator, then you probably are gonna wanna get this guy just for that. Trust me, all those features are gonna make your life 1,000 times easier. All right, and let's go ahead and talk about this. This is the DJI RC controller, and this is also one of the main reasons why I got this drone. Now, this controller is a game changer. Now, before, if you don't have a drone right now, before you'd have to use a separate remote controller, connect your phone, download an app, and then connect that to the drone, and there'll be all sorts of issues sometimes. But with this controller is a standalone item where basically you don't need anything else but the controller and your drone, and you're able to get stuff going right away. This is just like amazing. So because its only purpose is to fly the drone, the battery lasts extremely long. It has a nice, fairly decently sized screen. It just gives you the freedom to not have to worry about maybe getting calls while you're flying your drone. It gives you the freedom of not having to your phone getting hot, or maybe an app killing your phone and you can't fly anymore. This just makes life 1,000 times easier. This is one of the best things that they ever did. Thank you, DJI, for doing this. No more phones, no more problems. I should also add that now the DJI Mini 3 Pro has the ability to use both the motion controller and the FPV goggles. So that is also gonna be super cool. I haven't used it yet, but I'm probably gonna try it in another video. So look out for that one as well. But just even having that overall flight experience similar to FPV, I can imagine is gonna be absolutely amazing. I love flying FPV, and just even though the DJI Mini 3 Pro isn't gonna give you like a real FPV functionality, it's still gonna be interesting to be immersed into what your drone is seeing, and the functionality to control it with the motion controller should be pretty cool as well. So I'm definitely gonna try that out and let you guys know what I think. Alright, so right now, based on the current cost for the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which at the moment is less than $1,000, I think it is an absolute steal. With the combo that you're going to get for less than $1,000, you're going to get both the DJI Mini 3 Pro and the DJI RC controller, which is going to allow you to be able to use the drone without using your phone. It's going to allow you to get those amazing shots. I think the DJI Mini 3 Pro is a game changer, and while there are other more expensive drones on the market, I think this one is probably the best drone right now for both beginners and for professionals who don't want a more complicated setup. If you just want a simple, easy setup, then this is where you want to go. I think that we're not trying to get things more difficult to set up, more complicated. We just want fast and ready. And I mean, based on how social media is, we have to be putting out content consistently. So you're gonna want something that is gonna allow you to get stuff done at a quicker pace. So yeah, I highly recommend the DJI Mini 3 Pro. It is my favorite drone at the moment. I don't see myself replacing this drone anytime soon. So if you're looking for the ultimate drone right now, definitely check out the DJI Mini 3 Pro.